Hi folks, welcome to Greg's Workshop. I'm Greg and today we're going to be building a storage rack for these parts bins. The plywood we're going to be using today is 3/4 inch MDO. It's not normal MDO that has a craft paper face. This actually has kind of a plasticized coating on it. I think that'll be good for the bins to slide in and out of. You can see it's labeled on one side with the manufacturer, the Swanson Group. The other side's clear, so we'll factor that into our design. I'm really excited. This is going to be my first use of my new track saw by Craig. So, let's see how it goes. I really like this track saw. It's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Cord and hose management is going to be a challenge, but I'm sure with some practice I'll get it figured out. After we get all the long cuts made, we can go over to the table saw and cut all the uprights. The basic structure of this is going to be 4 dividers, 1 on each edge and 2 in the middle, so we're going to have 2 rows of 3. Because this wood has kind of this plastic coating, I'm concerned that the glue won't stick, so I'm going to use my router. Route out just an 1/8 inch deep rabbet, not very big, just enough to expose some wood grain so that we can glue and screw, and this will stay together. Even though the router is cordless, I still have it hooked up to the shop vac, and having that hose there honestly is kind of a pain. Have to manage it, make sure it doesn't get hung up, but when I get it in the proper position it works really well. The vertical dividers will be secured with 3 pocket screws each. I made a mistake here. I meant to cut some slots for the shelves on the table saw before I secured these to this. I did not do that. That was my fault. So now I have this filler piece here. I have a 1/4 inch bit chucked up in the router. I'm going to route them right out. This worked okay-ish. It's a good thing that that slot will be hidden. Just got everything assembled, the uprights, got the notches cut for the shelves. We're going to be stapling this back onto here. Going to be using my Senko stapler. Works pretty well, 1/4 inch crown. No glue because again the plastic coating is on there and I didn't route out enough on this piece here to make the glue stick. So we'll just use a whole bunch of staples. Now for the horizontal dividers. We're using 1/4 inch underlayment plywood. Really great things about this saw stop saw fence is this little shelf you can turn out. Did you see it? Right there? Let's take another look at it. With the simple turn of a knob, it extends about 1 inch to provide support for the flat pieces when the table saw is extended. Here's our completed project. We've got 6 spots for these DeWalt small parts bins. Now we need to mount it. Where are we going to mount it? We're going to mount it right here on the underside of the miter saw station. We've got all that stuff cleaned out. I'll show you how we're going to mount it. It's kind of hard to see. I'll show you what we got going on here. So I have these pieces of aluminum angle, 1.5" by 1.5" by 3/16 thick. One on that end, one on that end. Have another piece of that same plywood cut and pushed to the back, partly to use as a shelf and partly to use to keep the bin rack from going back too far. So let's put it in and see how it fits. And there we have it, completed, installed. Fits great, works great. Over the next week or so I'll spend some time getting the fasteners sorted. It's going to be screws, nuts and bolts, different organizers for each size. Should be good, should really improve the efficiency of the shop. Folks, thanks for coming along on another shop project. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell to get notified of new videos every Saturday morning. Leave a comment, I promise I'll respond. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week on Greg's Workshop.